Security researchers say they've uncovered a hidden file on Apple iPhones that keeps a record of where the owner has been. The phone apparently saves every detail to a secret file, which is copied to the owner's computer when synchronised. It contains the latitude and longitude of the phone's recorded coordinates, along with a timestamp, and could store the data for up to a year. And if a phone is stolen, anyone who then uses the phone could discover details about the owner's movements. Lloyd Borret is a security expert with AVG Australia New Zealand. He joins me now from Melbourne. And can you tell me, first of all, is this a specific design, if you like, for an iPhone, or are other phone manufacturers doing this?
Sure, Kim. The iPhone iOS 4 is where it's happening. So if you've got an iPhone that's running the iOS 4 operating system, or you've had an earlier one and upgraded to iOS 4, that's where it's happening. But
this is particular to iPhones itself?
It's particular to iPhones and iPads.
So why are they doing it, do you think?
I could speculate. What they're actually doing is not using the GPS capability of the phone. They're doing it based on triangulating which mobile phone cell that you're in. And why they're probably doing it is because the next big thing in mobile phones is going to be location-based marketing. That's where I could be walking past a shop and the shop could send something to my phone giving me a voucher to come in and have a cup of coffee that's a little bit cheaper.
So we already knew that you could be tracked, your position could be tracked by phones. I know that police services, for example, can use that sort of capability. Do you see this secret file, if you like, on the Apple iPhone and iPad as something sinister? Do you think it's that they're shaping up to try to, as you say, push advertising, or is it just simply a capability that's just there in the phone for the future?
Well, if I've got to choose between a stuff-up and a conspiracy, I'll choose a stuff-up every time. I suspect it's a capability that's being turned on a little bit earlier, that it's there now with no particular reason right now. There's no evidence that any information is being given back to anyone, that it's not being used. On a non-jailbreak phone, none of the applications can access the information. The researchers only found it because on the backup on your PC, they could access the information, and it was a bit convoluted to get it, but of course, geeks being geeks, they've now gone and created a nice little app that lets you run that app and do a map of where you've been.
I suspect most people's patterns of behaviour would be pretty dull, actually. Get on the bus, go to work, go home. But is it possible that this sort of information could be used to improve services or coverage on the phone?
Well, it could, and they're all the interesting, useful sorts of applications for this sort of technology that have been proposed. But this is a little bit different because right now it's sort of happening unbeknownst to people. The information's there, it's not really being utilised yet, but it does impose a bit of a security problem because, while the same information is there in the mobile phone networks, law enforcement and others have to go and get court orders to access that information. Now, all that someone's got to do is get your phone, do a backup of your phone to the PC, and they can readily access the information. Now, that's the sinister side. The good side is that if someone was trying to prove that they weren't somewhere at such and such a time, they could use that information to do that as well.
And you can't simply turn it off?
Right now, there seems to be no way that you can turn it off. It's not a user-selectable choice. And as I said, even if you've got the GPS device within the iPhone turned off, this is still happening via the triangulation. But this is symptomatic of a bigger problem where we do have GPS devices in most smartphones today, and they can be turned on and used for all sorts of location tracking information, and people are totally unaware of it. I take a picture. The picture has my location put into the metadata of that picture. I share it up onto Facebook or somewhere else, and people can not only see the picture but can get the accurate GPS coordinates of where I am.
Big Brother could never have imagined it. Lloyd Borret, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you, Kim.